plays in order to try and score.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. Now it's O'Connell.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it.
And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Ayuk goes in motion. Now Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
They go play action here. Purdy. Man open. That's Deebo Samuel.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Purdy now to throw. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Purdy looking to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the 49ers are on the board first here in Vegas.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Moody good with the extra point.
And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 8. And O'Connell now to throw. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
A Raider first down, 17 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Here's O'Connell. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Dodges him at the 50. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
3rd and 4. To throw here, O'Connell. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's O'Connell. Open man is Tucker. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now a handoff running through the middle. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now O'Connell. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
The kick by Carlson is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Open man, that's Ronnie Bell.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Connects with Kittle underneath.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Purdy off the play fake. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Purdy.
Taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal.
Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Back to throw, Purdy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the connection, but not enough. 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. Well, now how about this return? And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as it used to be, huh?
He's going to air one out. That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't care much for that last call, so out comes the red challenge flag.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide, and I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Throwing, O'Connell.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, He ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Open man right side, Myers. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now it's O'Connell.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Niners offense and Christian McCaffrey ready to go once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Throwing here, Purdy.
This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to?
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Purdy now to throw.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. Now they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
Out of the gun, Purdy.
That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on third down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there, and he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Purdy looking to throw. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Purdy will look to throw again here.
Gets this one to Juszczyk. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Now Purdy. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk.
A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Niners will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point try now for Moody.
It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards.
And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well.
His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Here's O'Connell. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
And O'Connell now to throw. That's caught by Myers. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back to throw, O'Connell.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.